Hey, what's up? My name's Moose from Grandma's House Audio. Check me out online, grandmashouseaudio.com. You're listening to the weekly podcast where I interview musicians, other engineers, anybody related to the music industry in general. So today, I'm actually interviewing a friend of mine, Dave Doro, via Skype. He's in Augusta, Georgia. I'm still in New Kensington, Pennsylvania. Dave, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, doing good, Moose. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So just a little background on me and Dave. We actually used to live in New Kensington for a while, but we didn't really know each other then. But we ended up living together in Columbus with like 7 other people. Dave actually lived on the top floor of the house, and I lived in the basement with a dirt floor nonetheless. $90 a month, holla.
I remember those days quite well.
It was a good time. Because even though you lived on the opposite side of the house, we actually became really good friends. And we got our own place eventually in Columbus, which was also good times. And then I guess we decided to try our chances in Florida, like what all the cool kids were doing in 2007, I guess. But after our lease was up there, I actually stayed in Florida for a little while. And then Dave moved to Augusta, which is where he's still at, and started a company. So what is it that your company actually does?
Right. So I kind of fill that gap between small businesses, medium businesses that are, they're getting bigger. They have multiple employees and computers and technology in their workplace, but they aren't large enough to have an internal IT department. So I kind of, I guess I come in as a third party and offer either contract-based IT services, managed services, or per call, per job basis services for, repairs, viruses and laptops, problems with network infrastructure, all that stuff. I also have a business partner that specializes in SEO and web development. So together they kind of mesh well because people hear, oh, you're an IT guy, you must be able to build me a website. I'm like, well, I can try, but it would take me several months and you would probably be very disappointed in it. Same goes for him. People say, oh, you work on websites. Can you fix my router? He's like, I don't even know how to use my own router. So together we've got this unique partnership where we kind of cover all the aspects of IT. And so far it's worked out pretty good.
Yeah, that's awesome because, it's funny. It's really funny that you mentioned that, how, people think that, a lot of things kind of cross over when you have a particular kind of business. Because just the other day, a potential client came down to check out the studio, and they were really confused of why I couldn't do anything with video because I had, quote, all this equipment here. And I was like, well, it kind of has nothing to do with video. I don't know anything about it. I can record some audio that you can put to a video if you want to, but I just thought that was funny that you said that because that people actually relate websites to, or building a website to, like fixing a computer when they're totally
it all comes
things.
Down to that.
Yeah.
The technology that's just so confusing, and I just don't understand any of it. And I'm like, I got it, but that's not me. I don't do that.
Right on.
But
cool. So, what is the name of your company?
It's Doro Digital Tech. It's as creative as I could be when I started it.
There it is.
Taking the SH out of IT.
That's pretty good. I actually saw, because I was checking out Blink-182 today because they just got it, because Tom DeLonge quit. So
I heard about that.
Yeah, so I heard some people talking about like, oh yeah, I actually enjoy the new singer and stuff. So I checked it out, and it's actually pretty good. But on the Blink-182 Facebook page, I guess Mark Hoppus's birthday was the other day, and it said, "Happy birthday, Mark! You put the ass in bass." I thought that was funny.
Nice.
Not really.
Nice. Fantastic. Good job.
Good. Go me. 5 stars. So can you build me a website?
I cannot. However, I know a guy.
You actually mentioned some stuff about SEO service, and one of the main things I wanted to talk about, and correct me if I'm wrong, was social networking stuff, because a lot of the things that I see online, or a lot of stuff that I see online lately, and then I hear people talking about all the time, is that Facebook is dead for bands and anybody with a page. And this is what I meant by, correct me if I'm wrong, social networking and SEO kind of go hand in hand. Is that right?
Yeah, they're definitely two parts to the same sword, I guess, for lack of a better analogy, because they they both intertwine. So specifically, your SEO is boosted by your social media presence, and the SEO will direct traffic to your social media pages, and your social media pages direct traffic to your website, which in turn pushes up your SEO. And SEO is search engine optimization. I don't know if we said that, but that's just how Google indexes you, and search engines index your site. Like think of a library card catalog. This big long drawer of all these titles, and there's tags sticking out of them. Websites are the same way. When you search something online, the search provider actually sends out these things called crawlers, and they crawl every website looking for these keywords that you searched for. And that is the whole art and science of SEO, a field that didn't exist 10 years ago. But thanks to Google, it is now one of the biggest industries in the world.
It's crazy how that happens. It's like the .com kind of thing. It's just like it wasn't there, and then all of a sudden there were millionaires off of nothing.
Yeah, exactly. These major SEO firms, they control accounts that are 5-6 figures a month. And, that's why whenever you search real estate, Trulia comes up, and homes.com and realtor.com. There's no way to get a small local person up there, because those companies just have so much of a budget that they park themselves on the first page and they don't move.
Okay, so for me, I have a Facebook page, and I've been in bands that, we have Facebook pages. That's like the thing you do. You start a band, you pick a name, and then you make a Facebook page. Maybe you post a picture or something, a piece of pizza or something. I don't know. So for me, in my personal opinion, I honestly thought that, or I honestly think that Facebook is dying for bands. And the reason why is because I've heard, well, originally it was supposed to be like, okay, so you have a Facebook page and then people like your page. And with that, so say, 1,000 people like your page. When you post something on your page, that means potentially 1,000 people are going to see it. And I guess the way that Facebook does it now, to my understanding, is that they've kind of limited that. So before it was just kind of like if you post at the right time to your audience or whatever, that those people were going to see it. Well, or have a better chance of seeing it, I should say. But now I guess they've kind of lowered that percentage, and because they're trying to push people to pay for Facebook ads. And people don't want to pay for Facebook ads, so they're moving to other social mediums. I mean, is that true, or what do you think about that?
Well, I guess it's true to a certain extent. The biggest thing is the like system in general is just exactly what you said. So I like something, and you're my Facebook friend, so you see that I liked it, and now you see these combination results. So it'll say Dave Doro and 6 other friends liked Battlefield 4 or something like that. And then things that are relevant to that, as long as you keep seeing those and you don't say, I don't want to see this, or unfollow, or whatever the exact terminology is, you'll continue to see those types of updates. Now, the dynamic that actually changed, it's called engagements, or there's categories, frequency, reach, and engagements. Engagements are whenever you click on something. So so many of your friends liked a PS4, and you click on the PS4. That's an engagement for Sony. They have an ad, and you engaged it by clicking on it. The reach is how many people see it come up in their feed. So like your example, if you have 1,000 followers as a band and you post something, potentially there's 1,000 people that will see that. Of course, those people could have their own set for what they want to see and what they don't want to see, and different priorities, because you can prioritize friends as favorites, and it's very in depth now. And then there's frequency, which is how many times per minute the ad is served up by Facebook. So, and that scale can change too, because you can change the frequency to minutes, hours, days, weeks, and months. So I don't know. That's a great job of explaining it. But I guess the best way I can explain it, I kind of have some examples. So before, when you would like something, your friends would see that you liked it, and then I guess the way that what the bands relied on was that, hey, we're going to this band show, and then someone clicks on the page or engages it, and then they like the band because they hear the music. That dynamic itself hasn't changed at all. So friends can still see what you're doing, events you're going to attend, new things that you like, and if you have more than one friend that likes it, you're going to see it more prevalently. The ads are there's two types of ads: ads in the side columns, which I think adds a lot of confusion. Ads, said that again, but there's advertisements in the side column, which contributes to the confusion, and then there's the actual sponsored ads, which come up in your feed like a friend's post. Those ones are paid on a budget scale. So if you put a $5 budget, you select a frequency of 3 days. I want to spend $5 over 3 days. So it will serve that to specific demographics that you can pick. And you can go very, very in depth with these very specifically targeted markets, or you can be very general. Everybody 18 to 65, that's friends and friends of mine in Pittsburgh area. So that's kind of a general search. But then if you're a band, for example, your ad would be more targeted towards friends and friends of friends and even friends of friends, which is 3 layers deep.
Friends of friends who make websites.
It would be people that have likes like local music, local restaurants, local shows, or people that have liked certain local bands or genres of music. And then you can even go deeper into that and like specific subgenres of music that are in this certain demographic or geographic area. So like I said, it gets very in depth. It goes as deep as you want it to go.
And these are the posts that you're talking about, like when a post comes up like in a feed and it says sponsored underneath, right? Like underneath the name or whatever. Okay.
Yeah. So a lot of those posts, you're very you're being targeted. So just think of that while you sleep at night. But for example, I was looking at Honda.com. I was looking at cars recently. I wasn't signed into Google. I wasn't signed into Facebook or anything like that. I made the mistake of emailing myself something that I found on the website. And then now my Facebook feed has sponsored results for sales on Honda cars, which is, they're watching. Everybody's watching. Everybody's watching all the time. But the first ad I ever did, I spent $5, and it was very general. Anybody in the Augusta area that 18 to 65, male and female, friends and friends of friends. And I had 1,300 impressions or 1,300 reach over the course of 3 days. And 113 people actually clicked on the post, and those were engagements. So that's what $5 did. And, those likes in business, it's difficult to translate likes into closed business dollars. But it's going back to the band thing, it's about awareness. It's about that presence and that I want to connect with this band. I want to connect with this type of music. I want to connect with this club or this place that you go and see shows. And I want to, because then you get their schedule and you get their posts on drink specials or whatever, along those lines.
And when you mean people reach, you're talking about like when you're logged into your Facebook and you're looking at your page and you like under your post, if you're the admin of it, it'll say X amount of people saw this.
That's the same thing. So the amount of people whose feed it came up in during that course of promotion or that time period.
Okay, so that kind of relates to, I actually have that reminded me of a friend. I just did his record. I just finished it maybe a month and a half ago. So he made a post on Facebook that, hey, we just finished our record and you can download it for free here. And he had a link to Mediafire. And the reason he did that was because Mediafire, I guess, will tell you how many downloads you've had from that link or whatever. So he posted that one week and he did it and he got a pretty decent reach. He had 1,200 people reached or whatever, handful of likes, couple comments, overall for, just a regular unsigned band, it reached 1,200 people. Not bad. But then the next week he actually boosted that post and he said he put $3 on it. I don't know, what I think you called it the frequency. I don't know how many days he did it over. But it actually quadrupled how many people he reached. And I guess like you said, that just means that's as many people that potentially saw it in their newsfeed. So it was there, but they could have just scrolled over it or whatever. But it was just interesting to me that, even though people are saying Facebook is dying for bands, the way you're explaining it is that it's actually still the same. And if you want to kind of take it to the next level, if you put a couple bucks down on an ad, it'll actually make it a lot better.
Yeah, definitely. It gives you that ability. You're not limited anymore by just how many people like you and their friends. Now you can take that with small dollar. You call these mini transactions under $10, and you can really actually make quite a footprint in a targeted area or just a blanket area of Pittsburgh. Like I said, you can reach a lot more people that wouldn't necessarily come across it, but because they have one or two friends in their group of friends that have liked it, then it's going to become relevant to them.
So say I've come to you and I'm trying to get my band out there more. Would you recommend that my band is on Facebook?
Oh, absolutely.
That's interesting because it seems like all the bands, well, maybe not all the bands, but a lot of bands that I talk to or interact with online and even in person think the exact opposite. And why do you think people are feeling that way?
I think there's the aspect of kind of being outside of the mainstream and this attraction to finding other means. Pure Volume's one that's very focused on music, at least from what I can tell, where it's only bands. I guess there's people that like the bands on there too now, but it's bands, and they put their albums up and they put all their songs up, and you can buy the songs individually, or some of the songs are free. The thing with Facebook is just understanding the bigger picture. The web traffic that Facebook gets every day far exceeds any other website on earth. So regardless of if you like the idea or don't like the idea, it's foolish to not participate, because there are many, many, many people that are spending 30 minutes or more a day, for lack of better words, trolling Facebook. The tinker stinker time, as they call it, when you're in the bathroom on your phone now. It's this ritual. What else are you going to do? Check Facebook, respond to an email, whatever.
I'm definitely guilty.
Same thing, you're waiting for something to happen. You're at a commercial break in a TV show or a football game or something like that. The first thing people do is go to Facebook. People post pictures all the time of just crazy, stupid stuff. The drink they're drinking, the food they just ate, their dog playing in the snow or whatever. So it's kind of like you gotta love it and you gotta hate it, but at the same time, the traffic is undeniable. There is no more common medium for people to connect on the internet at this point in time.
Yeah, it's really interesting that you said that too, because about how many people still actually use Facebook, because for me, I thought maybe, I'm just old or something, but, I catch myself on Facebook it's probably safe to say at least 10 times a day, whether it's on my computer, my iPod, my phone, I'm on it. I don't know why, but I'm on it. And what really kind of makes everything interesting too is that, now that I think about it, pages, and I think you kind of talked about this before a little bit ago, pages that pretty much all my friends that, invite me to like their page, I always do. I'm just that guy. I always want to know what all my friends are up to and their bands and all that stuff. But pages that I actually do interact with more, they do show up in my feed quite a bit.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I get Borderlands, one of my favorite video games out there, and I specifically like them so I could follow them, and then they'll release some, it's double XP weekend, or I guess that's not Borderlands, but they'll be giving something away or a code to get an in-game item or something along those lines, and it's always like, yeah, I should play that game. It's definitely a constant reminder. I totally agree with what you're saying. Like, you see that stuff, and then it encourages different lines of thought. Like, I should do that, or I should connect with that person, or I should see what they're up to, or see who else is doing this. And that's kind of where we used to sit by the old school telephone and hope it rang, and nowadays we're just always connected. So those moments of when we feel disconnected, we immediately get on our phones or tablets or computers and start fooling around on Facebook.
It's probably safe to say that 99.9% of bands don't usually have much of a budget for anything. I kind of know that just from running a recording studio, that it's usually hard for a band to even come up with a deposit to start recording a record, let alone pay for some ads. You know what I mean? So,
oh yeah.
Do you think that, and I guess this doesn't really apply to just bands either, but do you think that people should try to have a little more of a budget to just a couple bucks to throw at some Facebook ads? Or, I mean, is it totally possible to do without any ads as well?
It's possible to do without the ads, but the ultimate core of the issue is that Facebook is taking steps to be more like Google, and Google is taking steps to be more like Facebook with Google Plus. So Google, when you search, you get those yellow results. The first 3 results are yellow, and they say ad with the little yellow square.
Which I always skip over for some reason.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But those are paid ads. So I run those. It's called a pay-per-click.
Mm-hmm.
But those are specific keywords, and you're only charged when someone clicks on them. But you're served up as one of the first 3 results. So whenever you search internet service in your area, Comcast or Time Warner always comes up with an ad because they have an unlimited ad budget, or theoretical unlimited ad budget.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people do skip over them, but there's a lot of people that click on them too, because more people don't know how to use the internet than do know how to use the internet, which is the scariest part of all this.
Are you saying that just being able, like people just being able to get on the internet and search in general and click around and navigate through websites and stuff like that? Or?
Well, I guess I would just say that people don't necessarily pay attention. And that's what I noticed as being an IT guy. How did you get these viruses? I just clicked on some stuff. What did you click on? I don't know. Like, there's a disconnect there. I don't understand how they don't know what they don't click on, but different people pay attention to different things. So a lot of times, the majority of Google searches, people will click on the absolute first result. Like, they don't even see if it's an ad or not. They search Google. They want an answer right now, so they click on it. And what's even more interesting is, as the system is evolving, people are starting to search for more specific things when they have time. And when they don't have time, they're searching for more general terms. So when you're locked out of your car, you search Google for a locksmith, and you pick the first result because you need to get in your car right now. But whenever you're thinking about changing the locks on your house, you search local locksmith that changes house locks or something along those lines, which gives you a much more targeted and specific result for a local company that would have that's set up for those types of keywords and has a business page that does those things. And the same thing goes for Facebook. People don't use Facebook to search like they do for Google, but they do use Facebook as that friendly referral system. So, my friends like it, I should see what they like because they're my friends and they have good taste, or for the most part. At least that's how in theory, that's how you think of your friends.
I noticed a lot of times too, and I definitely do this myself, because sometimes I hate Google searching for something, or I Google search something and the results that I'm coming up with just aren't really helping for some reason, whether I'm searching the wrong thing or it's something that nobody really knows about yet. But I'll tend to ask on Facebook. I'll post a status saying, hey, does anybody know how to do this or that? It's kind of interesting how that's almost related to Google searching.
Yeah. You'll get a more honest response from people that you trust more than just what the internet throws at you.
Yeah, that's an interesting theory. So you think that Facebook is still very relevant. So for the bands that are moving to social networks, Instagram and Twitter, and trying to get everybody to move over to that to follow their band, should they keep doing that? Is that a mistake? What's up with Twitter? What's up with Instagram? Or is this is it taking over Facebook? Is it just as good? Is it, or?
Well, I guess I understand what you're asking. Facebook owns Instagram, which is another scary thought.
Really? That's interesting.
One of the ultimate core of the issue, Instagram and Twitter are more of a personal reach. All these companies have Twitters now, and it's laughable when they try to connect with me. I don't care that you just acquired another $1 billion company, whatever. But, friends who post on Twitter, it's more interesting. It's kind of got that more personal feel to it. Same with Instagram, because you only follow certain people outside of your Facebook circle. And Instagram tends to have more, family photos and fun things people are doing, whereas Facebook is almost more political, where you don't post pictures of yourself drinking because an employer might check, or, something along those lines.
Yeah.
I would say it's definitely relevant, though, because like I said, it's the mainstream and it is the best way to do it. The name of the game when you're in a band or anything that's driven by fanhood is reach. In Facebook terms, it's reach. You want more people to see it. You want the most people to see your stuff as possible. It doesn't matter if they like it or not, just that they saw it and they made their own decision. And a $5 a month budget on Facebook is markedly better than a $0 a month budget on Facebook because of the ad system now and how it works. So there really is no harm in spending the money if you're a band, because you're going to get people that will go to your page no matter what. And the interesting thing with the ads, if people don't, or if Facebook doesn't spend the money in the allotted time, they refund it to you. So if you put a $5 budget over 3 days and they don't serve it to enough people, they only serve it to $3.80 worth, you get $1.20 back.
I know for me, I tried Facebook ads once, actually. I didn't actually pay for it, but when I got hosting for my website, for my studio's website, Grandma's House Audio, it was I got my hosting through GoDaddy, so they sent me a coupon. It was like, here's $100 free in Facebook ads. Try it out. And I think it was when Facebook it was just starting that. So I tried it out. And it got me a couple new likes on my page. I think it got me a little more interaction. I probably didn't really know what I was doing. But I kind of decided, it's whatever. Not for me, whatever. And actually, I guess I must have done something wrong because it says that I owe them $10, which I'm not sure, because I'm pretty sure I said only $100 because that's what I had. So there was no way to contact them to resolve it. It was just like, well, you owe us $10. We don't want to talk to you. Just give us $10.
Here's our $10. Yeah. Well, like I said, ultimately, those likes that you gained from that small campaign, in the future, if you did another campaign, those people that liked your page, you also have access to their network now too, which is kind of the benefit that's missed. And negativity spreads faster than positive energy and positive thinking anytime. So somebody hears a reason to hate something and they're on board. And that's generally how the world works. And it's kind of unfortunate, but negativity spreads like wildfire. So somebody gets the wrong idea or thinks that, that's all they want is to make money now. It's like, well, they are a business. They do want to make money, but they're giving you a better medium to reach more people. So it's like, it's really what you put into it. You put $5 into it once, you get a few likes, you get some people seeing your page. But the next time you do it, you also will appear on those new people's page and their friends. So it kind of expands exponentially as it goes on.
Because I know, I've heard bands say too, like, it's so stupid. Like, this band brags about how many likes they have. Like, who cares how many likes you have? The amount of likes doesn't matter on your Facebook page. It matters how many kids you can get to come out to your show and blah, 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 or whatever. How often you tour, how much you rock.
It does, but, the younger group of kids, and I say younger, 25 and under, they are more likely to pull up information on the band's next show based on their Facebook. So if the band doesn't have their current, agenda or roster put on their Facebook page, they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot. So if you like the band and then the band never posts anything, you'll never see it. Like, they had a show last night. You see pictures of your friends there, but you never knew because the band didn't say, hey, come to our show tonight. That's an automatic reach of all the people that already like the page. Plus, if you promoted that ad, you would reach an exponentially larger amount of people, 3 days before the show. Hey, big show Friday, everyone come out, $5 admittance, all ages, whatever. There's a difference in just posting that because then you reach your, 1,000 people who have liked your page. Right. Or if you promote it, you're reaching the 1,000 people plus the friends of the 1,000 people.
Right. So it's kind of like, because, when I started playing music, the internet was around, but it was still pretty new for bands. Like, after I started playing for a couple years, it was like, that's when, the MySpace days, when MySpace was like at its prime. That's when, small, unsigned acts were booking their own tours across the U.S. and probably internationally as well. But I had friends that were unsigned, had low budget, but they were booking tours across the U.S. themselves with, no outside management, no label backing them. But it was all because that they had this connection from MySpace. And I know that one of the things that even I have done before was a mailing list. So you get people to give you your email at the show. You have a little booklet out and like, hey, give us your email address and we'll give you a free sticker. You give them a reason to, give them your email. They could put you on the spam list, and every time you do an email blast, they don't get your email because they don't care. They just wanted a free sticker. But the way you're saying it's like almost the same thing, just kind of in a different way.
Yeah, exactly. It's in a way that's kind of served up. The email now is kind of a work thing. You don't email your friends, I'm on the way.
Yeah.
Say, hey, see you in the bar in 10 minutes. I mean, I do, but I'm kind of weird. You text them and you go on Facebook and say, yeah, I'll be there soon, bro, or something like that. So it's that Facebook's more of a social interaction, whereas email is more of an impersonal interaction. The mailing list used to work because email was new and everyone was just stoked about email. It was awesome. And you could just send people stuff wherever, whenever. But now there's these different mediums like Facebook where it's interactive and there's pictures and there's games and there's things that your friends are doing. You play games with them. So they said it's more of a personal, even though it seems impersonal, it's kind of a more personal way to reach people in general. And like I said, you don't have to participate in the ads, but not having a Facebook page at this day and age is just kind of working against yourself, because there's no negative to having publicity out there when your whole game is getting publicity and getting people to see you and come to your show.
Right on. That's a good way to put it.
And I have some examples of the targeting and stuff like that. We actually had two identical situations here. Both of them had a $100 lifetime budget, which means there's no time period. So you put the budget as lifetime. There's no, I don't know. I guess it's lifetime. It doesn't expire. The duration on both these ads was 2 days, so they were aimed to last for 2 days, and both of them were in March. I can't say the names of the companies, but I can tell you what they were about. One of them was a fitness place. They're $100. They got 11,000. This is a gym, and the targeting was people who like CrossFit, people who like personal fitness in the Augusta area and 30 miles outside of there. They got 11,000 people saw the ad, 270 people engaged with the ad, and it netted them 133 likes. That's 2 days at $100. Now that's kind of weak targeting, personal fitness, CrossFit, all ages. There's a broad spectrum of people. That was kind of just a starter ad. We'll see what happens. Now we have another one, same scenario, $100 over 2 days. This was for a charity. It was a church-run charity, and the ad was run in the Augusta, Georgia area, plus a 30-mile radius. And it was targeted to people who liked the Catholic Church, special education, Vatican City, Catholicism, charitable organization, homeschooling, private school, Catholic school, Augusta, Georgia, mental disorders, Pope, John Paul II, Pope Benedict the Ninth, charity and causes.
So they know how to make websites,
games,
is what you're saying.
School and Pope Francis. But because they're so targeted, that same $100 got them 34,181 people reached. And that's the exact same dollar amount, the exact same duration in the same geographic area. It's just that it was very specifically targeted to all people who have liked all those things versus people who like CrossFit and working out. So it's very powerful if you get into it and you kind of tailor these ads, because the Facebook marketing side, when you go up to the top, you've got your people and your messages in the globe, and then there's a down arrow, and there's actually a advertising on Facebook tab. So when you go there and you run an ad, it'll give you a breakdown of everybody. You can see all the people that saw it. You can see the people who liked it. You can engage people that way. There's just so many avenues it opens up. And like I said, if you're going to spend the money on the ad, you should try targeting. You should try to pick these specific groups. And, if it doesn't work that well for $5, try again for $3 and try a different group and see what happens. Like I said, there's not really much bad that can come of it aside from missing out on a 6-pack of beer because you spent the money on an ad.
That's a good way to put it, honestly. I know for me that I've been trying a lot of experimentation with, my Google rankings for my website. It almost seems like that I shouldn't really stop doing what I'm doing as far as my, search engine rankings with my search engine optimization. But it seems like it'd be very beneficial to kind of do the same thing with my Facebook page.
Yeah, absolutely. And then there is power in having all these things sync together, which seems, and it kind of is tedious, but your Google, they both rate you on a score. So your Google score is based on, do you have a Maps page filled out? Is your Maps profile filled out?
Right.
Do you have business hours on the Maps page? Do you have, or for a band, it would be, do you have, local places you play? Things along those lines. Have you taken the time to actually put all this information in? Because Google isn't judging on who it likes or doesn't like. It's a computer. It's judging on who has the most information available that is relevant to what this person is clicking.
Right.
And how fast can we find it? So the same thing goes with Facebook. Having all that information and having it synchronized, if the band gets to a point where they have a website, have the Facebook link to the website, have Google link to the website, have the website linked to Google Plus into Facebook, then you've completed all these circles. So no matter what, any traffic that goes to you, whether it be on Facebook or your website or your Instagram or your Twitter or any kind of web traffic you get whatsoever, makes you more relevant, because relevance is the name of the game nowadays. When somebody searches local music, Augusta, Georgia, it's going to serve up the most relevant terms, but it's going to go on the information it has. So if there's a more relevant local music scene that doesn't have an online presence, they're not going to come up. That's kind of the harsh truth of it all.
So cool, Dave. I think we're just going to wrap it up. You provided a lot of information, and I really appreciate you coming on the show today. So Dave Dorough from Dorough Digital Tech. How can anybody, if anybody needs you for your services, how can they contact you?
You can go check out our website. It's www.dorow.digital. That's DOROW.digital. We are able to offer service all over the country through remote access and managed service. We can also troubleshoot problems, and I love talking tech with anybody. So any fellow nerds out there that just want to pick my brain, or if I could pick their brain on how things like audio recording work, that's always fun.
Are you hinting at something to me?
Yeah, I appreciate our conversations about frequencies and wavelengths.
Right on.
It's actually very interesting to me.
It's very interesting to me too. So
nice.
We'll
Good.
have to have
Good.
that talk.
I hope so.
Yeah, we should do that on another show. That would actually be really sweet. Cool. Well, Dave Dorough Digital Tech.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, absolutely. This is Moose from Grandma's House Audio. Thanks for listening.